I've seen those documentaries, Manuel, that those documentaries that you have suggested me to see. They were really interesting, and both of them were my favorites. Well, the first one that I saw, that was that that one when he arrived in Peru, and he met with a Peruvian guy. He well the presenter of these documentaries from Taiwan, China. He's from Taiwan, I guess so. And but anyway, he has a native level of English, but in the first one, it paid my a lot my attention, a kind of shrimp, right? And well, there are so many different kind of dishes over there on Peru. One that I liked a lot is ceviche as well. Um, it's so tasty. I remember that. Well, the he, I'm used to trying ceviche. They are different kinds of them, different preparations as well. But I strongly remember one Peruvian ceviche that I have tried on a restaurant of the center of Santiago, right? But the thing is that it's I liked it a lot, but is really really spicy, really really hot, right? The thing is that due to I liked it, since I liked it so much, I have invited my mom to go on to that restaurant. And but the thing is that she didn't like it, right? Because it was too spicy for her. But and well, I in that moment, I it made sense for me, right? I agreed with her that it was really too spicy, and she didn't enjoy it a lot at all. But for me, it was really delicious. I really like spicy food. Um, but obviously, when it's extremely spicy, I I can't bear it, But I love it. Perhaps I was thinking that perhaps I could go again over there and shoot a video to show you that ceviche. Perhaps in the future. Actually, in fact, I have been thinking a lot in Peruvian food, right? So I'm I have really cravings to try Peruvian food again. I still remember that lots of years ago I was working on the very south of Chile, and they in Concepcion they opened a new restaurant, and it was Peruvian. And I still remember those flavors so much. Unfortunately, some then I guess it passed a month or two. I don't remember. But then I was fired from that job, right? But or I don't know if they have an euphemism to say when you are when you are fighting. They asked me to go, right? That's an euphemism, and that's it. Well, I have to say that I'm used to write down some words to remember, right? I don't have that privileged memory. um, and there's a phrase that paid a lot my attention in that in one of those documentaries, is one that said Peru mucho gusto, right? And the translation of that is Peru good taste, and nice to meet you as well, right? It's a really interesting, a really smart game of words, right? And there was another kind of food that paid a lot of my attention. I guess that this is, yes, this is the second documentary of an Argentinian lady who was making that documentary over there on Peru, and she showed different different, well, low battery. Let me try to arrange this, to fix this. Okay, I have plugged a cable over here, so I'm not sure if it is charging. I hope so. The thing is that I don't remember well what I was talking with you, to you, but the thing is that there was another documentary where an Argentinian lady was showing different places of Peru, showing different kinds of food, and that was really interesting. And there was once that paid my attention. All lots of things paid my attention, right? I'm only mentioning some of those, and that is a kind of cuisine called fusion, right? Fusion between two styles, right? And in that restaurant there was a restaurant devoted to fusion between Peruvian food and Chinese food, right? And that seemed really delicious. And well, why it paid my attention? Cause here in Chile, and there exist some restaurants devoted to a fusion between Japanese food and Peruvian food, right? And I remember that there was once when I tried it, right, which is a kind of um, sushi, right? Sushi prepared with a Peruvian style, right? So, for example, I'm going to tell you an example. There was no necessity to put what is this? The name of this sauce? The name of this sauce, soya, right? There was no necessary to put soya sauce over it, because they had their own sauces, right? And that sushi was amazing, was an amazing flavor. So I love these fusion cuisine as well. um Either way, I went to another moment. I have been to a Japanese restaurant, and I talked a little bit. No, I wasn't talking with her. I was listening a conversation. Now I remember. And the other person was was asking her why didn't she make these kind of fusion that exist between Peruvian and Japanese food. And well, she answered a really wise, she gave a really wise answer. And she said that both kind of foods have a really strong identity, right? And so she preferred to focus really on Japanese food, right? So the thing, guys, is that there can be different opinions about this, about fusion, right? But I have to say that it's amazing. So if you have the opportunity to try this fusion cuisine, I strongly recommend it, guys. And there was another dish that paid a lot my attention, which is pachamanca, right? Pachamanca, where they make a kind of how do you say this word? A kind of, oh, I have forgotten a word now. I guess I'll try to a kind of, let me translate. I need to translate this. I have it in the tip of my tongue. I have it in the tip of my tongue. Oven. Well, oven. It's a kind of oven made by stones, right? Made with stones. And it seems really tasty as well. It gives a really nice flavor. It conveys this kind of this way of cooking. I definitely conveys a really nice flavor towards food. And it reminds me another kind of food which is prepared in the very south of Chile, typically in Puerto Montt, right, which is called curanto al hoyo, right? And it has a similar preparation, which is I'm not really that sure, right? I guess it's a kind of hole that they make on the earth, on the land, right? And um they put stones, right? Heated stones, right? They heat the stones, and they put all the mussels, meat, chicken, and over it, I don't know how they cover it, right? They put leaves. I really don't remember, right? But it reminded me that I have to say that well, here in Chile we have really tasty dishes as well, right? I know that, well, Peruvian food is really famous worldwide. Perhaps it stands out among other countries, but I have to say that here in Chile we have really tasty dishes as well, right? And I guess that in other places, but well, I know that Peruvian food is more famous, and it stands out, right? Let me see what more I wanted to talk with you. It something that paid a lot of my attention was that all these culinary schools that exist in Peru. and they have interviewed a student there, and he said that, well, as for example in Brazil, Argentina, they used to, well, young people, they are used to standing out cause of football, for example. And but in Peru, it's cuisine, right? That's something that in Peru there are lots. It's a cradle of chefs, right? And so, well, I'm going to tell you an anecdote. Nearly around 4 years ago, more than 4 years ago, I was working in an institute here in Chile, and, well, in the on like a job in the administrative part of it, right? And I remember that there was once that they asked me to make a report of the possibility to put a headquarter of this institute in Peru, right? But the thing is that they never dared to compete in cuisine, right? Because I remember that the guy said to me, going to put an institute in Peru, and considering cuisine in the offer, right? It would be really nearly impossible, right? I still remember that, right? So now I wanted to tell you this anecdote, right? And then the other documentary, the Chinese guy, he went to Cusco, right? To Cusco City. And I remember I went once to a Peruvian restaurant, right? And, well, it's here they have shown a kind of different levels of restaurant, but it's depending on the how expensive they are, right? I I have attended to both kinds of restaurants, right? And I remember that there was once when I have attended to a restaurant which was cheaper, right? But